Turn your photo into a beautiful gift for family and friends. CustomStitch.net will make a counted cross-stitch pattern from artwork you submit and return it to you in PDF format within 24 hours. Includes color key chart, DMC floss numbers, and floss usage. Visit us today.
Today's episode is called, Every Bachelor Should Have a Family. Kate Bradley and her bickering family stage a display of harmony to impress a longtime bachelor, played by Hugh Beaumont, who is considering marriage. Beaumont's first of 3 appearances on the show. Original air date, April 19, 1966.
Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
Sam, you got another bottle of polish remover about this size?
Hello, Sam.
Oh, forget something, Mrs. Wilson?
No, I changed my mind about the cherries. Kate!
Vera, how good to see you.
It's been a long time.
How are the children?
Fine, and yours?
Mean as ever.
Help me decide. Do you like these cornflowers in this hat?
Oh, yes. Yes, the color does something for your eyes.
Yeah, it does something for mine, too.
You know, you can't stay faithful to one girl for 5 minutes.
Well, you get to be my age, every 5 minutes counts.
You know, Sam is right, though. I've never seen you look so well. Could a friend make a guess as to why?
It must be that new soap I've been using.
Just as you say, honey.
I'm glad you asked, Kate. Ronnie Beckman's the first man I've gone steady with since I lost Fred. I like him a lot.
Oh, I'm so glad for you. Have you and Ronnie set the date yet?
Oh, Kate, it's not that serious. So far, it's just the movies once a week.
Well, surely he holds your hand.
Not even if they're playing a monster picture.
Well, then you hold his hand.
Oh, Kate, that'd be forward.
Well, a woman is entitled to be forward when the romance is going backwards. Why didn't you invite him over for a home-cooked meal?
Asking him over for meals would make it look pushy. You know, like I was setting my cap.
Vera, let me tell you something. A man doesn't wake up one morning and say, I think I'll get married. You have to start the countdown.
Well, Kate, I'll give it some thought. I've decided on these, Sam. Will you put it on my bill?
Oh, sure thing.
Bye, Kate.
Bye, Vera.
Bye, Vera.
Let's see now, Sam. I'm gonna need, 3 cans of pineapple juice, 3 cans of tomatoes. Oh, thanks.
Come on, Floyd. We got a schedule to keep.
My fault, Charlie.
Simmer down, will you? 2 passengers at one time, and he falls apart at the seam.
Who's the other one?
A fella named Beckman.
Ronnie Beckman?
Yeah, he's going to Pixley.
Ronnie Beckman on the Cannonball.
What's he do for a living?
Oh, he's a bookkeeper. He moved to Hooterville from Crystal City 5 years ago. He's never been married, he lives alone, and monster pictures don't scare him.
It'd be nice riding with him, seeing as you're such good friends.
Don't be silly, I hardly know him.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Bradley.
Mr. Beckman.
Oh, here, let me help you.
Well, thank you.
What are you feeding, an army or a family?
Oh, just a family. No, an army. I mean, the hotel. The family, they eat hardly anything. It costs practically nothing to feed them. Certainly cheaper than eating out. cook in the world. But you take my friend, Vera Wilson. Now, there's a cook for you. Oh, I don't mean for you. I mean, she's a great cook. And as I always say, there is nothing like a home-cooked movie. Neil.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I'm not much of a judge of that.
Oh, well, surely you had home cooking when you were a child.
No, I lost both my parents when I was just a boy. I've lived alone most of my life.
Oh, I'm sorry to bring up sad memories, Mr. Beckman.
She put her hand on his arm. Now he's patting her hand. Hardly knows him. She ain't fooling us, is she, Isabel? Save your moo until tonight when you're alone in the barn.
You know, incidentally, that Mr. Beckman sounds awfully formal.
Yeah, so does Mrs. Bradley. I wonder who they are. Ronnie?
I haven't the faintest idea, Kate.
Will you shut up? How can I hear with you bawling?
You have friends in Pixley?
Oh, yes, but it's partly business. You see, a friend of mine owns the Bixley Lumber Yard, and so I spend the weekend and audit his books once a month.
Oh. I bet you couldn't make head or tails out of my bookkeeping.
What sort of system do you use?
The close enough system. You see, you figure out what you spent and what you took in, and whatever is left over, that's close enough. Anyway, it always comes out even.
Well, you should be in Washington, D.C. That's more than they can do with the national budget. You know, Kate, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to you that I've been seeing Vera Wilson a lot lately.
I think it's just fine.
But there's a problem. You see, as I mentioned, I've lived alone.
Floyd, this is kind of private. Do you mind?
Just thought you'd like to know we're passing over Scoville's Canyon. A sheer drop of 4 feet.
Thank you, Floyd.
Well, marrying Vera, I'd be taking on a family.
Yeah, but such a nice one. Vera's children are wonderful. They're so well behaved.
Oh, I'm the problem. I've never had to share so much as an evening paper.
Well, Ronnie, sharing is the best part of it. That's what makes for happiness. I can't even imagine being without my family.
Charlie, do you have to blow that whistle every darn minute? Between the tooting and the mooing, I can't keep track of the wooing.
What in the thunder are you talking about?
Kate and that Beckman fella are sweet on each other.
You climb all the way up here to tell me that?
Now lay off the whistle, will you?
Regulations demand that I blow this whistle at regular intervals. One thing I believe in, it's rules. Sweet on each other. Kate?
Well, we're coming to the shady rest. I hope you have a nice time in Pixley, Ronnie.
I'll carry these for you.
Oh, you don't have to. Floyd will help me off with them.
No, I mean, I'll carry them to the hotel.
Are you getting off here?
I hope you have a room for me.
Oh, sure, but I hope you didn't take me seriously about needing help with my bookkeeping.
I'll be glad to audit your books for you, but that's not the reason I'm getting off with you. Oh, what better way to learn about family life than living with one?
Shady rest.
Well, you see, my family isn't a very good example. Oh, what I mean is that it isn't fair to Vera, because she only has 2 children. And I have the hotel and Uncle Joe and...
You afraid to let me put it to the test, Kate?
Afraid? What would I be afraid of? Me afraid?
I hope Kate knows what she's doing.
Me too. Who's that young fella with Kate?
Ronnie Beckman,
A bookkeeper from Hooterville.
a bachelor bookkeeper from Hooterville.
He lives so close, what's he doing at the Shady Rest?
Joe, that's a good question.
I ain't asking you for the quality of the question. Just give me an answer.
The way we figured, he's going to be your new boss.
He's taking in a partner?
More than that, the way they was holding hands.
Now, just a minute, Charlie. You didn't see him. I seen him.
They was holding hands?
Well, don't ask him. Ask me. I'm the one that's seen him.
Well, I'm asking you.
Joe, I couldn't believe it. I was in the baggage car looking after Newt Colley's cow, and suddenly I opened the door, and there, right before my eyes.
They was holding hands. And not only that, they was sweet talking.
Sorry, Pat, I'll never tell you nothing again as long as I
Well, you certainly keep the place up well, Kate.
Thank you. It is peaceful, isn't it?
Yes, very.
And quiet. A nice, quiet family atmosphere.
You used up all the shampoo again!
There was only that much left from the last time you used it.
Is that so? Well, it just so...
You're getting water all over my clean blouse.
I'll get your key. And just put your bags down anywhere. Here, let me take this. Hey.
You're wearing my blue capris again.
Well, you wore my capris yesterday.
Well, I don't stretch yours out of shape.
Are you implying?
Well, those double chocolate malts don't go to your head, you know.
And Georgie Davis, some coach he turned out to be. If I ever speak to that sneaky boy again, you just wait till you want something from me.
Nothing you own fits
Well, all
me.
he had to do was take that back.
No, I won't.
Then if Nancy, you wear out your clothes and then you start on mine.
Just so happens, Mom.
Oh, but here's your key, and your room is the first door to your left on the landing. Here's the radio's too loud. They just love soap operas. Dears, turn down the radio.
I'm the oldest.
Girls.
Oh, you don't make any sense. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, what's the matter, Mom? For a minute, I thought somebody let a flock of geese in here.
Mom, will you tell her she's not the only one who shampoos her hair?
One for Billy Joe, one for Betty Joe, and one for, there's nothing for you, one for Bobby Joe. And there's 3 more of everything else in there, too.
Hey, that's a great idea. You're a doll.
All right, now you girls can do something for me.
Sure, Mom. What?
We have a new guest in the hotel, Mr. Ronnie Beckman from Hooterville. He's a bachelor.
Oh.
Oh.
And bachelors are not exactly ready for family life. So for the next few days, I would like us to make a good impression. So there'll be no fighting with each other, and I want it quiet around here. And I don't mean everyday quiet. I mean public library quiet. Understand? And that goes... Squirrels. And if you have to bark, bark silently.
What's it matter if this Mr. Beckman likes us or not?
Well, it matters a lot. I mean, I've got a very special reason. But I suppose you're entitled to know what it's all about.
Mom, you don't ever have to explain to us.
No. After all, we're women, too. Sure, if there's someone you like a lot, well...
Oh, he's not after me. But it's nice to know I can count on my girls if he was.
Well, who is it then?
Well, not a word to Uncle Joe. You know what a blabbermouth he is. It's Vera Wilson. And Mr. Beckman came here to kind of try out family life. And that's why I don't want any arguing or noisy carryings on. If Mr. Beckman likes living here, he's liable to pop the question. And that's why this family is going to be loving and sweet and polite to each other if it kills them.
More potatoes, Mr. Beckman?
No, thank you. Billy Joe?
Thank you. On second thought, I'd better not.
But, darling, with your figure, you can eat anything.
What a darling thing for you to say. Thank you, dear.
This is a Shady Rest Hotel, ain't it?
Betty Jo, I'm sorry your team lost the ball game.
Huh. Your boyfriend, Georgia Davis, ain't such a hot coach after all.
Why, Uncle Joe, he tried. Nobody's perfect.
Kate, you better call Doc Stewart. This girl's got a fever.
After all, it's not who wins, but how you play the game that counts.
Spoken like a true sportsman.
And such a loving thought.
Who else but our little sister could be so loyal to a losing team?
Losing?
Well, there's always a bright day tomorrow.
Hey, wait for me. I can't take any more of this either.
Don't you want dessert, Uncle Joe?
No, I've had enough sweets for one meal. Better take it easy with that bone there. You're too young to remember rationing. Once them bookkeepers get their hooks into a budget, all that sweet talk they're giving out with, that's just icing for the wedding cake. So you don't like it either, huh? So this calls for strategy. Now, here's what we've got to do. How about a game of checkers, Ronnie?
Hey, you got a deal.
Red or black?
Oh, you choose.
Well, I guess I might as well take the red, seeing as how we're always in the red around here anyway. Hold your horses. Now cut it out. Who's playing this game, you or me?
Does that dog actually play checkers?
Oh, he ain't so smart. I beat him 2 games out of 3. All right, 1 game out of 3.
Oh, that cost you.
Nobody likes a smart aleck. Now beat it.
That is a smart dog.
Yeah, well, I wish he'd remembered at mealtime. He eats like a horse. That's one of the trouble with kids. They always want pets, and that's more mouths to feed. Dogs don't eat just any old thing nowadays. See what I mean? Kids, too. Eat, eat, eat.
Have an apple, Uncle Joe. Now.
Eat all the time. Sure move. You have no idea what it costs to dress a family these days. Why, shoes alone. I don't see how Kate does it with the hotel business being as lousy as it is.
I thought the Shady Rest was doing quite well.
Yeah, I guess you did. That poor girl hasn't got a dime she can call her own. We better play fast. They may repossess these chairs any minute.
Uncle Joe, can I see you for a second?
Excuse me a minute.
Uncle Joe, how come you're putting on such a poor mouth with that man?
Kate, there's one thing I ain't got, and that's false pride.
But it's my pride you're kicking around. Why?
There's one thing I am as a character reader, and I can smell a fortune hunter a mile away.
A fortune? Wait a minute. Have you got an idea that that man is after me and for my money?
You're a darn tootin'. It's just in case he's got any idea of latching onto a rich widow.
Quiet. It's only Uncle Joe. I guess he thought you were Prince Philip. Where are you going?
Why, church. All this sunshine and love is killing me. At least the preacher gets mad once in a while.
Yeah, it will be a relief. Ooh, look what time it is. I better change or the girls and I'll be late.
You forgot to let your bath water run out of the tub.
I haven't taken my bath yet.
Of all the slowpokes, I thought you were through.
You let it run out with my best bath salts? Oh, you dumb little kid, you.
Who's a dumb little kid? Oh.
Can I serve you some more chicken, Ronnie?
Oh, I'm full up, Kate. But I could eat your fried chicken for the rest of my life.
Don't always turn out the same.
How was the sermon at church this morning, Mr. Carson?
Long.
What did he preach about?
Sin.
What did he have to say?
He was again it.
Well, does anyone want any more of anything?
I'm
Oh,
good, thank
I
you,
couldn't
Mom.
eat another thing.
Well, I'll go get dessert then.
I'll help, Mom.
Me too.
I'd like to help, too.
What a fine family. And what wonderful girls.
It's gonna cost a fortune to marry them off. Girl's father pays for the wedding, you know.
I want you girls to know I'm real proud of you. This hasn't been easy.
Do you think he's getting the message?
I think we're coming into the home stretch.
If we win, it'll be by a whisper.
But, Mom, I don't think we're really being honest. And you call yourself a woman? This pie looks
scrumptious.
Yeah.
That won't go to your head either.
Mom, if she doesn't stop those snide remarks.
Now, girls, you know, I can hardly wait to see Vera Wilson and tell her all about this.
I'll bet he's going to propose to her.
But when?
Well, that's up to Ronnie.
Hey, Betty Joe, Georgie Davis is in there.
Oh, he is. Well, he'll wish he weren't. I've got plenty to say to him.
We'll hold it for another time. I don't want any fighting or yelling today.
Mom, our team lost the game on account of him.
How would you like to lose that advance on your allowance I promised you?
You wouldn't. You would.
I hate to disturb you, Mr.
No, Beckman's the name. And you're not disturbing me. I'm just reading the weather report.
Oh, well, did you happen to hear if Betty Joe mentioned anything about being mad at me?
Well, how could a wonderful girl like Betty Joe ever be mad at anyone?
Huh?
Hello, Georgie.
Oh, hi, Betty Joe. Gee, I was afraid you'd be mad at me on account of we lost.
Oh, well, George, after all, it's not who wins, but how you play the game. Let's go out on the porch.
Are you sure you're not mad about what happened?
Why, Georgie, how could I be mad at such a wonderful boy on such a wonderful day? You have your nerve to show your face around here.
What?
All you had to do was call for a sacrifice.
Now, listen.
When Mary Lou was at bat, you should have told her to bunt. Whose side are you on?
Now, what kind of question is that?
Will you get out of here?
Not until you let me explain.
Go! Go, go.
Yeah, paper says rain. There's not a chance. Not a cloud in the sky.
For your information, I signaled Mary Lou to bunt. But she's such a show-off, she couldn't resist taking another swing.
Oh, Georgie, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
That's what's the matter with girls' ball teams. The players are girls. And girls are goofy. One minute you're poison, and the next minute they're all over you.
But let me explain.
Don't bother. I know. You're a girl.
Oh, I hope you do rain. All over that Ronnie Beckman.
Mom, are you sure it's not too tight?
Billy Joe, your figure is fine.
Sure. What's a little baby fat?
Bobby Joe, I swear.
Shh, quiet.
What a drag. Can't I even play records?
Not yours.
Maybe I'll get lucky and find an old Lawrence Welk.
Kate, I'd like to pay my bill.
Are you leaving?
Yes, I am. What is it?
You just said the magic word.
You ought to know better than to ask me for a bill. Well, we've just loved having you here. Haven't we, girls?
Oh, yes, it was great.
Been nice.
Oh, of course. Why, you've been a delight.
I just lost my appetite.
And I hope it helped you to decide.
Oh, yes. Yes, it did. I've never known anything like this before. Oh, there's the train. Well, goodbye, all. And thanks.
Take care
Thanks
of
a lot.
yourself.
Goodbye. Now, Bobby Joe, I've got a few words to say to you.
Glad he's gone. I should have brought him here in the first place.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, you girls stop arguing. You think I'm going to stand here and something. After all, I'm only human. Oh.
I forgot my briefcase.
Oh,
I just got it.
I'm glad you came back. We've been trying to give you the impression that we're a bunch of goody-goodies, and it's downright dishonest. That kind of family life is only in storybooks, and you'll find that life at Vera's is just the same as it is here. People fight, and they love, and they kiss, and it's hectic most of the time.
Well, I think Bobby Joe said it. You're only human. And I'm darn glad you are. You know, when I left here before, I had decided that I couldn't marry Vera.
Why?
Well, because a man, especially a bachelor, has just simply got to be crabby once in a while. You know, maybe even have a knockdown and drag out sometimes. If I thought life could be like this at Vera's sometimes,
It will, it will.
Honest, much worse than here.
Well, all right, then. I'll give it a try.
Grant, Remember, we got a package deal for wedding.
Oh, congratulations.
Well,
I just think
thank
it's
you.
congratulations.
I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
You're getting a wonderful woman with 3 fine children.
I thought she had 2 children.
No, count them. 1, 2, 3. It's been a long time since I kissed a bride.
To us, you'll always be Kate Bradley.
Boys, you're confused. Ron is marrying Vera Wilson.
Vera Wilson? And after all that hand-holding and sweet-talking to Kate.
That's all right, boys. Ron and Vera are in love.
Kate, you're taking this like a man.
Well, as Betty Jo always says, it isn't whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
Petticoat Junction.